Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of the Supreme Court of the United States. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is Thursday, June 25, 2026, and this right here, the thing that you are watching, it's called the TNAM Daily Show. Got to go closer so you can see it. There, is that easier to see? Actually, it is a little bit easier to see. And you're watching this on the TTT. Let's try that again. On the new American media. Because the old American media has failed you. It's flippin' failed you, y'all. On today's program, the Supreme Court is jumping off the top rope. It looks like preliminary results are pretty doggone good. There's also the Senate battle heating up over Iran and the Save America Act and all sorts of other stories. Thank you to everybody who tuned into the TNAM PM show yesterday, 9 p.m. I may try to do that again this evening, time permitting. We shall see. But it is a different vibe for sure. Check out last night's show and you'll see. Marion's like, oh, I got to check it out. Does that mean you were tired or fired up? You shall see. It was palpable. It was very different. Maybe it was just the day. I don't know. I think there's something different about doing stuff early morning, midday, evening, late night. I think we're just wired a little bit differently. I think we feel things differently depending on what time of day it is. We have circadian rhythms for a reason. You know, we have seasons for a reason. All that stuff gets blended together into meaning something. So check it out, the TNAM PM show. But we got a million stories to get to, so without further delay, buckle up, buttercups. Oh, yeah, look at the shirt. U.S. Border Patrol. It says on here, to protect and serve time. Remember under Barack Hussein Obama? They were going after Border Patrol agents for protecting our country. It's like you don't go after the bouncers for keeping people, unauthorized people from sneaking inside. You give them a raise. But no. Obama went after the Border Patrol because it was part of a human smuggling and torture operation. Yeah. Is that too harsh? No. When it's legit, nothing is too harsh. Sometimes you got to hear harsh shit to kind of wake you up a little bit. And when I mean this, I mean peacefully and patriotically. Of course, we don't encourage any sort of violence on this program. Unless it's state-sanctioned or military tribunal-sanctioned, which is sort of what I got into on the TNAM PM show. A little bit of my frustration over where are the damned treason indictments? Isn't there still treason? You're telling me you're going to raid Mar-a-Lago, you're going to frame Trump, you're going to use lawfare, you're going to impeach him? How many times to run interference on the will of the people's agenda over and 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 over again? But they just get away with it? Oh, so you're encouraging retribution? No. Justice should not be for just us. It should be for all. Whether it's Fauci or Mayorkas, Garland, Obama, Biden, Newland, Pelosi, Schumer, you know, all the traitors. And there's many more than just those few. I don't mean that's all of them. Just to name a few. And by the way, did you see Mike Lindell has been vindicated? Well, sort of. But yeah, he has been. It sure seems like all of the signs are pointing towards something good, but I don't think that means we should sit back and relax, because trust us, bro. Trust me, bro. There's a big plan. It's all, we got this. TikTok, mother trucker. We're 5.5 years into this. grand plan of yours with the 4-year hiatus in between. So we're essentially at 9.5. Well, did you quick math? 9.5 years out of 8. You're overdue to produce some results. Anyway, I digress. We're going to work with what we have, where we are, and try to do better today to leave tomorrow better than yesterday. All right? So buckle up, buttercups. The TNAM Daily Show starts now.
Your guide to the truth, thenewamericanmedia.com.
You know, I look at that intro and I'm reminded that this is called the TNAM Daily Show, not the Agree to Disagree Show. I really do need to get a TNAM Daily Show, Agree to Disagree Show, TNAM PM Show intro. Put it on the list. Hey, Jamie, put that on the list. Oh, wait, I'm Jamie. Thank you all for being here. Let's check in with some of our regulars. Everybody hit the thumbs up button, hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend. I think on some versions of the app on YouTube, you can smash like confetti and hearts. I don't know, those types of engagements. Let the algorithm know that you're not a bot, that you're a person, that if you like this show that much, they might recommend this to other people who would like it. Please copy the show link and send it to a friend and invite some people to this bar. I'm Brian, your bartender. We're going to talk about all the stories on the screens behind me. And if you enjoy your time here, I'll let you know that at the end of my shift, I'll slide the tab to you for this lunch episode, and it'll say $0 in free cents. But, you know, we got to keep the lights on. Viewers like you, we have to bypass all of the gatekeepers at Instagram, Facebook, Meta, Google, YouTube, Twitter, X, etc. So the ways you can support us, let me put it up on the screen. Scrolling at the bottom there. Consider signing up for at least $5 a month to become a subscriber to the New American Media on these 3 platforms. There we go. That finger got stuck. Actually, I usually do. That's how I do 3. Patreon, the New American Media, which reminds me, I need to upload a show there today. Patreon, you can set the amount. There's various options. Thank you to everybody who has, and thank you to everybody who will. Maybe today's the day that you actually click the thing and do the thing. For as little as $60 a year, $5 a month, you can help Paul Bryan keep the lights on. That's independent media for you. You can also go to Rumble and YouTube, The New American Media, and subscribe to us there. That's set it and forget it, and it rolls and it helps. It's massively helpful. Also, if you want to just do a one-time Rumble rant tip, super chat tip. You know, your tab will be free at the end of today's show, but it has a tip line at the bottom. You can throw a silver coin or 2 or 3 or 4 into some of these tip jars back here. Rumble rant tip, super chat tip, or Venmo Cash App if you're not into those other sites. PayPal, fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com. Thank you to everybody who has, and thank you to everybody who will. Today's show is about the Supreme Court of the United States. Kenneth asks, are you talking about the SCOTUS flower? SCOTUS flower? Oh, the lotus flower. Notice. Well played. Well played. As I mentioned, Marion will check out the TNAM PM show. Check out the TNAM PM show. I almost went with the TNAM night show or the TNAM late show or TNAM. night show or TNAM live. I don't know. Went with TNAM PM. So we'll see how that goes. I did used to do the TNAM AM show. And you know what? Maybe at some point I will be doing shows at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, 6 in the morning. I don't know. We're reconfiguring some things. So stay tuned. I'll keep you posted. Marion wants to see if my energy was half awake or half asleep. Or, I'm sorry, awake or half asleep. Don't tell me the word asleep. You know, double your workload and it doubles the energy needed. And yeah, it did take some energy out of me. That is for sure. Yeah, you're right, Marion. All these chat acronyms, I read them in 10, 20, 30% of the time. I'm like, GTSY. Garth the Silent Yuppie. What does that mean? GTSY? I'm the same way. RV EBS yet? Revaluation Emergency Broadcast System yet? I think I know what that means. What's up, David from Canada? Happy to have you here. They're definitely both needed. Lord knows I've been ever so patient. What do you have? What did you get? You got some dinar, Iraqi dinar. What is the way to invest in a potential revaluation? By the way, we don't give out any investment advice because, you know, we're adults here, but we can talk about what other people are doing. David, though, reminding us everyone needs to be able to break free from this debt slavery system. Yes. Kenneth asking, does the Supreme Court serve tacos? Yes, sour cream and tomatoes on this court. Kenneth didn't watch the TNAM PM show because only the drunk are out after 7 p.m., consarn it, and stay off of my lawn. Actually, Kenneth, how is the lawn at your new place? Hope it's going well. Mark didn't get a notice. Russia is starting to use its planes. Hold on. This whole time, Russia wasn't even using their Air Force? Because Ukraine's been attacking... What were they attacking? Energy supply? They were going after more... Was it oil refineries? I keep myself vaguely abreast of the situation of the war. Generally speaking. Same with Iran. The stories come and go. And I don't typically bog myself down with the minutia, but are you saying Russia has, up until now, still has not been using its planes? It's just been drones and people and robots and stuff? They've held on to their planes this whole time? They've what? They've been playing nice with the little kid because it's like, come on, sit down, stop swinging, stop. You know, and you got your arm extended. You're like, sit down, stop. Don't make, stop. And then at some point, they're going to actually start swinging. Yeah, it just, it strikes me as scary what could happen over there. I want them to chill TF out. There's a acronym for you. Decaf sanctions? Well, perhaps. Kenneth has Mike Lindell's pillow. I have 2 of them downstairs. I've never used them. Maybe I'll try them. My neck's been a little... Maybe I'll try them. They're still sealed they're like vacuum sealed. But good for Mike Lindell. The hell he's been through for half a decade. The hell we've all been through, you know? You have his sheets and pillows. Maybe I should get him as a sponsor. It's a great idea, me. Hey, Jamie, set that up. Oh, wait, that's me. I'm sure I'll get around to it. A lot of things are overdue. Kenneth asks, is that a Mountain Dew hangover? Ortho's in the house. Happy to see you, Ortho. Good to have ya. TNAM PM I missed show. But it's available on replay, by the way. So Kenneth is into dinar and silver. Yeah, silver is what? Down to 59? It was up to what? 100? Yeah, I'd like to see silver at like 300 an ounce, please. 400 an ounce. Gold's down to $4,000 an ounce, 4.5. $4,056. I don't know how to say 4.5. That'd be 4,500. So that would be wrong. Oh, geez. Mark's saying Russia saved their planes from unlimited Patriot missiles. Okay. You want to talk pillows? No, we're not doing pillow talk here. Maybe the TNAM PM show is where you have some pillow talk. Sorry, folks. You couldn't tip me enough. But I appreciate the joke there, regardless. Gosh, Jamie already has 2 things on his list today. Oh, he's got more than 2. But we don't need to get into the weeds on that. All right, let's dig into the stories. We have so much to get to. Even on yesterday's show, I couldn't get to everything. So let's do it. Did you see this dope that is representing the Democrat Party? Here's your daily reminder. Never vote Democrat anywhere ever, okay? Never vote Democrat anywhere ever. 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 They like chants and they like sing songs, right? Never vote Democrat anywhere ever. Never vote Democrat anywhere ever. Come on, never vote Democrat anywhere ever. Never, never, ever. But never, ever. This person, I was starting to say this when it came in that there were all these massive earthquakes. And I'm like, well, let's go to the footage. And I never really got to this story. But I started looking, I'm like, what's this person's name? Like, it doesn't make sense. It looks like if a Scrabble board fell over. Like, I don't see a word in this. Darializabonet. Goes by Dari. Darializabone. I don't know how you pronounce this lady's name, but remember, she posted in 2019, I forgot to get napkins. So I just wiped my hand on the American flag behind me. Hee hee. Hee hee. Make her the face of this party. Actually, I'll put that in the comments. Never vote Democrat anywhere ever. Is that fair? Oh, check this story out. Now, if it's being reported true, the report here says a Louisiana pastor beats up a man who allegedly threatened to R and K his wife and grandchildren. What would you do if your neighbor allegedly threatened to R your wife, to R your grandchildren? Yeah, that strikes me as a very specific threat, does it not? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Pastor Tony Spell of Life Tabernacle Church says he was working on a church bus when the neighbor's son started shouting at him. Spell said that it is his job as the natural protector to protect his church and family. I'm going to R your wife. I'm going to R all of your grandchildren, this idiot says. The next time you go out of town, I'm going to K them. And what the F are you going to do about it? Spell allegedly said. The neighbors, the Sherwin family, claim Spell is not telling the truth. But during a press conference, Spell was backed by members of his church who say they've made multiple complaints about the Sherwin family to police. Spell's attorney says the Sherwin family has a large industrial scale camera that could see from across the street all the way into the pulpit. Spell was hit with multiple misdemeanor summonses in 2020 so he was arrested before, but this was because the COVID craziness people were trying to get him to shut his church down. He's like, nah, I'm good. And so he had a bunch of summonses at that point. He refused to close his church. Good for you. The Central City Police are friends with these folks across the street when Pastor Spell was being surveilled 24/7. It was with the help of the man across the street, Spell's lawyer said. Pastor was reportedly arrested and booked for second-degree battery. So if this guy said what he's being accused of saying, he's screaming, "Help me, help me." They're swinging and dancing. By the way, how beautiful is it for almost the first time ever to see two white people fighting? How great is that? Usually when I share these messed up stories, well, you know, I'm not used to seeing this. Zero racial component to this flippin' story, because I don't care about racial components. I care about behaviors and activities. Now, I have a certain feeling about this story based on what's been reported that this guy across the street was saying, making specific direct threats and specifically timed threats. Next time you're out of town, I'm doing this. Oh, okay. I mean, would he be justified in taking this guy's life at that point? You know, maybe that's something for a jury to decide. But if new information comes out, I reserve the right to change my opinion. But yeah, anytime I see these fights not involving white people or 7 migrants stomping a French kid to death, that's a story we unfortunately have to cover today. Oh, and they recorded it and we're laughing about it and taking pictures with his corpse. You know, usually these stories have a racial component and, you know, it gets a little ugly if you got to tell the truth about such things. But look, I'm just going to make my opinion based on the actions of the 2 people involved, like I always do. Color and heritage have nothing to do with actions. Actions have to do with actions. But he goes across. Now they're dancing and wrestling, and then it ramps up a little bit. There you go. 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 On the ground, you little punk. More. More. That kid's been screaming for help. Close the phone. If the accusations are, now he's grabbing his head. If the accusations are true, and I believe the story is as reported, once again, 72-hour rule could be a caveat. The pastor could be nuts, and I'll change my opinion. I won't change my opinion because I'm just saying if that's the case, then the pastor's nuts, then I would not approve of this. But if you're threatening to R and K his wife and his grandchildren, oh, buddy, when people tell you who they are, you believe them. Specifically, next time you're out of town, I'm doing this. Oh, are you? Okay. No, we're not waiting. We're doing this now. If there's one thing I could criticize, it's not the pummeling, actually. Although I don't encourage violence, I encourage self-defense. And if your family's under attack and violent specific threat, I mean that's violence, of course. Yeah, good luck getting a jury to find this guy guilty of anything except defending his family. This kid's been crying for help. Well, maybe you should have thought of that before you allegedly did what you allegedly did. Now, if you didn't, I'll take it back. But my criticism is mainly this dude's form. I want to see him take some MMA classes. I don't like the form of these punches. They could be so much more powerful and effective. So much more powerful. I don't like the form on the pastor. I would encourage somebody in the community to give him some MMA lessons. I mean, but he did a good job taking him down. He's obviously taking care of business, but I think he could be even more lethal with just a little bit of training. But he keeps going, which is noteworthy. Dragging him by the hair. Kicking the ribs. How about this? Agree or disagree? I think this pastor should be charged with crimes. if what was said was actually said. Tell me in the comments, do you agree or disagree that this pastor, if what was said, clear and specific, timed threats against his wife and grandchildren? I believe he should be found guilty of charges. Do you agree or disagree with that comment? Tell me in chat. Did someone say I better drink more coffee? Mark gave us a quote. Sometimes a man will tell you who they are if you give yourself a chance to listen. Yeah, damn you kids. This story sort of made me really happy. But, you know, I don't know the backstory. And just like anybody else, whether it's Carmelo Anthony, George Floyd, Kyle Rittenhouse, any sort of story of note, we don't know. We don't know the backstory. So on the surface, if this dude's family was threatened, good on you. We've got to start tolerating less bullshit from people. Peacefully and patriotically, of course. Yeah, that's a clear, specific, violent threat to end this guy's whole family. So we'll see how that shakes out. I'm going to be following this. Actually, Tony Spell. Let me look him up on X. Jamie, do me a favor. Pull up Tony Spell, and let's see if there's any more info on him. Yeah, Colin Ruggs reporting it. Robbie. Yeah, John Rich says, I stand with Pastor Spell. Robbie Starbuck says, after he was done beating the absolute brakes off the guy who allegedly threatened to R his wife and grandkids, Pastor Spell told his church, quote, I fulfilled scripture. I laid hands on the sick. You know, look, let me tell you this. After Charlie Kirk was assassinated in cold blood, either by the Robinson Transtifa guy, or by the deep state, or by Israel, or by an exploding lavalier mic, or by the guy in the audience that did the thing and the hand signal and something came. We don't. Let's let that investigation and trial play its way out, right? By the way, who do you think killed Charlie Kirk? Tell me in comments. Will I regret this? I went to a church or two, and you know, I told you this before, but they didn't talk about a shepherd defending his flock and standing up and being brave in the face of threats of violence. And, you know, Jesus took a whooping up there, and we might end up being taken off this chessboard. But you know what? We got an eternal life that's greater than this temporary life. We got to fight for the right to party. Rather, we got to fight for the right being the correct, the fair, the honest, the virtuous while we're here. How many times in the Bible does it say, fear not, fear no man, do not be afraid, over and over and over and over and over again, for a reason? Maybe this is all a computer simulation, and we're going to find out on the other side. We're just going to go, kind of readjust our eyes and go, what was that? And it's like, oh yeah, the virtual reality goggles on. I did? Yeah. How long? 150 years. That's how long I plan to live until. And you go, wow, that was a ride. You go, yep, that's the greatest AR tech. AR. What is it? What is it called? VR. There we go. Virtual reality. AR is like Armalite rifle, not automatic rifle. Don't make that mistake. But yeah, I went to some wimpy ass church, and they were like, you know, what aboutism? You know, there was a Democrat politician was shot in Minnesota too. And, you know, it's on both sides. We got problems on both sides. I called that pastor up to express my displeasure with him. I said, how dare you? I said, good day, sir. I said, I will not be coming back to your milquetoast, garbage, limp-wristed, wet blanket, limp noodle, I don't know, whatever terminology you want to use. I go, that is not the sermon I needed today. I need something to fill me with that fighting spirit because they're killing us. Well, you got to understand the people in this city. There's a lot of liberals, a lot of Democrats, and they need God too. And if we started doing that, then we'd lose half our congregation. I go, yeah, you'd be better off with half of the people if they were actually on the right side of this stuff. There's no whataboutism. And by the way, the lady that was taken out, that was political terrorism. That was from the left. They claim it was a guy on the right. They kind of convolutedly twist that to be like, yep, a Republican did that. You go, no, see, he had a hit list. Nope, he had more Democrat names on there. Dude was a Looney Tune, and that lady was silenced after she stopped the fraud to the Somalis from stealing from the people of Minneapolis or Minnesota. I believe it was Minneapolis. It was in Minnesota. Yeah, but you need pastors that are going to deal with the wolves at the gates. You need shepherds that will defend the flock. The flock, first and foremost, is your person. Second most, it is your family, your betrothed, your significant other, your offspring, your siblings, your parents, your cousin. Like, that's your secondary. Then you have your city, then you have your state, then you have your country, and then you have all of humanity. But first, it could be a pretty good idea to serve God, serve the concept of God. Don't be going out and harming anything that doesn't need it. That's pretty much the golden rule. Don't do unto others as you would have done unto you. Wait, you're not saying Brian pulled the virtue card, which is a king move. No, you're talking about Pastor Spell. Pulled the virtue card. I fulfilled scripture. I laid hands on the sick. Please tell me this is true. Robbie Starbuck reported it, maybe or may not, but anyway, the story appears to be legit-ish. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on this. I would go to this guy's church. No, because he didn't go over to somebody because they were playing music a little too loud, or hey, you cut the lawn and you didn't blow off the grass on the road. It's a hazard for motorcyclists and bikers, which it is, and you're an asshole if you do that. That stuff you can talk out. Death threats to your whole family, like, you don't talk that stuff out. That is an imminent threat with a specific timeline. As soon as you're out of town, or basically as soon as your car's not in the driveway, I'm going to brutalize your family. I don't know what the hell you are. So this story, story of the day. Reserving the right to totally change my opinion if the facts are different. All right. Wake Up Right says CNN won't connect these dots, so we will. Since Trump gutted U.S. aid, the left has lost 7 straight presidential elections in Latin America as the U.S. taxpayer cash dried up. Coincidence? Conservatives do not think so. And you're right, Ortho. I didn't even bring that up, but you caught that. That other guy assaulted the pastor first. Now, but if you were on the other side, you go, well, if someone invades my personal space, I can only assume that they're coming here for violence, and I have a right to defend myself within arm's length. So I've made that argument many a time. But I mean, technically, you are correct. So the run, oldest to newest. Watch the dates. These are 25 through 26. Ecuador, Bolivia, Honduras, Chile, Costa Rica, Peru, and Colombia. Boom. 7 for 7. All good guys, none of the commie shitheads. Now follow the money. Here's what USAID poured into those countries in 2024 before Marco Rubio and Elon Musk and President Trump axed 83% of the agency. 260 million, then less, 152 million. Colombia, Honduras. Peru, 103. Ecuador, 86. It's dropping. Costa Rica, 4.2. Chile, 1.05. Bolivia, 0. And they did take money from the United States in previous years. 5,200 contracts gone. Huh. So it seems like if you're not stealing money from the American people to put on a credit card tab, that's, what's it at? 27, 37 trillion, quintillion, gazillion dollars. It's almost like leftism globalism fails. Wake Up Right says, and this isn't just our theory, the people watching up close are saying it out loud. Representative Ana Paulina Luna says U.S. aid shutdown has gone hand in hand with Latin America's rightward swing. As Revolver News USA put it, U.S. aid money built the region's media, activism, and voter education machine. Once it dried up, the map changed fast. So there's some good news. Yeah, but the president's not doing anything. He hasn't even arrested Obama yet. That was me making fun of me yesterday because I got so fired up. Dan Bongino would say, add this to the stack of nothing's happening. Can you reach up there? Grab the ladder. We got to add this to the stack of things that's not happening, of Trump doing nothing in office. Mark's saying there were 2 assaults, a threat and a punch. Axed. Yes. LeBron James, when he went to Miami, he was doing that sit-down interview, and he says something like, I asked D Wade, and this person was commenting on it in real time, a Cavs fan like me, and he was so mad. He's like, it's asked, not axed. Oh, what did he say? Oh, yeah, he goes, LeBron just said axed. It's asked. You asshole. It's ask, not axed. You asshole. I'll like that will forever have like a note card in my head that I could reference. It's asked, not ask. You asshole. One of my favorites. Come on, Ortho. Never leave your cave without your axe. Go ahead, type it. A little play on words for our number 2. All right. We told you about this guy, Oliver Tree, that passed away. This would have been a perfect topic to play on the night show. Something a little bit more coast to coast AM vibes, conspiratorial related, Antarctica, flat earth, inner earth, Admiral Byrd. But this guy that just died, and they've calculated the odds of dying in a helicopter crash being, forgive me if my numbers are totally off, but it's something like 1 in 10,000 if you take a helicopter that it'll crash and take your life. But what are the odds of a helicopter hitting another helicopter resulting in your death? It's like 1 in a trillion trillions or something. Allegedly, that's the story. But I was unfamiliar with this Oliver Tree, but he's some sort of musician, and he passed away a couple weeks ago. Apparently, he screened his unreleased alien-based documentary 2 weeks before he died. Sick of the government hiding what's really going on. You've heard all the stories about Antarctica, of course. He's not saying anything we don't all know. So if we all know something, then what are you going to do? Get rid of all of us? Yeah, we know about your secret bases and stuff in Antarctica. We've known about this for decades. Everybody knows. It was like Joan Rivers. We already have Barack Obama. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody knows, she said about Michelle. And Obama being our first gay president. Whether that's true or not, I'm saying that Joan Rivers said that. But everybody knows about Antarctica, but here we go.
What I'd give to get a chance to go up in there. Are you fucking shit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count 5 different entry points to this alien base. This is the reason why I've stayed in Antarctica so long. Look at this fucking thing. I'm giving an interview about alien bases and one shows up right behind me. This is a daily thing here. This is something that has kept me in Antarctica because I want to know more. And without the proper military support, I can't go deeper into this because this is NATO territory. It's been closed off. But a guy can wonder and a guy can watch from a distance and document. We've got multiple cameras here so that we can try to get this footage and upload this to the internet where everyone can witness this for free. We don't have to hide this anymore. I'm so sick of the government hiding what's really going on here in Antarctica. This is what's going on. Alien bases that go underwater where you have orbs, you have UFOs, you have UAPs, you have so many different types of vehicles, but this is what keeps me. As much as I love it, what I'd give to get.
So that's that musician that died tragically, accidentally. Just like Michael Hastings, allegedly. No, very different, but anyway, I'm very intrigued by this. Anybody else? I know. Hey, it's Mo. Why I oughta. Bonk. He's got the Mo. Brandon Tatum says the liberals are going to hate this. The reflecting pool is looking like the ocean this morning. Deep blue, crystal clear, absolutely stunning.
The reflecting pool is looking magnificent this morning. Like, if you're going to say it looks crap when it looks crap, then you got to say when it just looks like you want to swim in it. You know, it's a better reflection when there's no wind and it's all still. But for now, today, it's looking great. They mopped up all the algae a few days ago, and from what I can tell, it hasn't really come back. And it looks blue. So credit where credit's due. Like, that looks awesome. The reflecting pool is looking magnificent this morning. Like, if you're gonna say,
he sounds Australian, but he also sounds a little bit like Elon, does he not? We typed in the comments, the left are the party of pond scum. They're the pond scum party. But I did ask Grok, and it says, no, the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool in DC is not looking great right now. Peeling paint and bright green algae. They're actively cleaning it with vacuums, nets, nano bubble technology. Nano bubble. I've heard about nanotech. Nano bubble technology and chemicals. But issues persist. The pool is set to be drained again for further repairs that are under warranty. Warranty doesn't cover acts of vandalism. Are you serious? Hell no, I would not accept that. Look, you're going to accept it or I'll drone strike your house. All right, I'll do it. But no, that's act of God, act of terrorism. That's not failure of the product or the application. Hell no, I wouldn't pay that. Absolutely not. Okay, so I'm getting conflicting reports. Brandon Tatum saying it looks great based on this video, and Grok is saying no, it still looks awful. So stay tuned. I don't know. What's LDA? Give it a day or two and some LDA will foul it up. What's LDA? Loser, Democrat, arsehole? Maybe? So I don't know. We're getting conflicting reports there.
the reflecting pool is looking...
Check this out. This is hilarious. If I may play you this brief little clip. England did not play well. I believe they tied 0-0, and it's an embarrassment, whoever they played. My buddy Paul Brown from England went to a football game together a couple years ago. He's a big Cleveland Browns fan. And he was absolutely gutted by it. But this line was hilarious. U.S. chance. Or wait, who's making the chance? I missed that, but listen.
Well, I have never beaten England.
They've never beaten England.
A huge shock, but as we know, the English historically struggle here in Massachusetts.
Bravo. That's such a great line. But as we know, the English historically struggle here in Massachusetts. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Oh, that is so good. I'm sorry. Someone put a community note? No, that's not helpful, you dorks. We know it's a joke. Good grief. Top tier punditry in sports. That was just chef's kiss. That was so good. But as we know, the English historically struggle here in Massachusetts. And I think Paul was at this game, by the way. Paul actually ended up on Jimmy, how do you pronounce his name? Jimmy Falia? I actually saw him do comedy a couple months ago. Oh, actually got to me. I think I got a picture with him somewhere. I got to go find it. But yeah, Paul ended up getting interviewed by some reporter. He says, we're going to get drunk before the game. We're going to get drunk during the game. We're going to get drunk after the game. And he ended up having the lady, what's her name? Shannon Elizabeth from American Pie on Friday Night Live or something. They played that clip on like a Bachelor show. Would you rather have Bachelor 1? And they played it. It was pretty funny. Anyway, I just love that. Here's something I don't love. I've got a producer friend in New York who shared this on her story today, and I went, oh, God. According to ABC 7 New York, a man who set fire to a sleeping subway rider last year was sentenced Tuesday. Well, that's great. Finally, get him sentenced. 5.5 years in federal prison. Hiram Carrero. He's a Spanish Jew. Okay. 19 years old, boarded the 3 train at Penn Station when he picked up a piece of paper and used it to set fire to a man asleep on the train. The guy survived. Set fire to a human being, and you're going to let him back out in 5 years? That's somebody you cage forever. Your brain is broken. You lose free-range privileges. Let's get a nice halfway house. Well, there's no halfway. It's a forever house. Like you adopt a cat or a dog. It's your forever home. No, it's your forever house. You will be incarcerated forever. You're a fucking lunatic. I say flee blue cities, flee blue states. I just... 5 years for that. No, you put him away for life. You're a fucking psychopath. So stay careful. Let's take a look at some of the earthquakes. We had massive earthquakes yesterday. Everything's going crazy. Look at the damage in the stairway. Every step we take is worse and worse. Let me get the injury reports. Flight, it's just like
mierda, weón. Qué locura esta mierda, weón.
It said that one of these big hotels completely came down.
Acabó con el edificio.
And you got to be aware of falling debris as well. One of the biggest killers when it happens.
Mierda, weón. Yo acabo de subir el ascensor.
You're not moving back into this.
Acabo de
The
entrar.
place is condemned, right? If you can get out.
Mierda.
They're saying reports yesterday said 32 dead, 700 injured. Overnight reports initially. But now they've revised it up, mainly focusing on the Venezuela earthquakes. There was another California, Northern California, another one in Japan. But mainly in Venezuela, they've revised it up to 971 injured, 164 confirmed dead. Death toll expected to rise further as rescue operations continue in the rubble from collapsed buildings, especially in La Guaira state near Caracas and other hard-hit areas. USGS warned a high risk of mass casualties, with models suggesting the final toll could reach thousands or higher in a worst-case scenario. So you ask, is this an alien? There were like 4 big ones yesterday at different places. Alien invasion? That was the... Is this naturally occurring? Is this something like HARP or something man-made, like a discombobulator? Something alien? you know, because they're pushing disclosure, UAPs, UFOs, and such. No, Marion's like, I'm not sure I'd be filming either. Why can't people turn their phones off? Well, but I like knowing what happened, and it's that those firsthand accounts that we rely on so much for so many stories. You know, with AI, and it's just crazy how AI has totally taken place of, you know, with all these photoshopped images, it's hard to tell what's real. We used to say Photoshop. That is a clear marker of a new generation. It's AI. Everything's AI. But I don't really want to form an opinion on stories unless I know what's going on, and I can't really know what's going on unless I see it, which unfortunately means I'm going to play this. I wish I didn't have to, but we need to see what we're talking about. Yeah, Mark, that place was tore up from the floor up. And no, he wasn't running faster. He was being careful. He was going slow. Dina saying that arsonist on the train had to be possessed by dark forces. I mean, how about the other monster on the train that took out Irina Zarutska? Say her name. Dina thinks it's the sun and the planet alignments. I think I caught Shadow of Ezra sharing something that was factually incorrect, like asserting something that was blatantly incorrect on a Grok search. And so, like, I'm a little extra careful on Shadow of Ezra stuff now, but everybody makes mistakes, but it's on my radar of, I don't know if I can fully trust this. I almost always have to verify stuff from that account. But yeah, they're saying it was HARP. That's the claim. Yep. Say her name, Irina Z. In France, a group of migrants uploaded a video of viciously beating and stomping on the head of 17-year-old Louis, inflicting fatal injuries. The attackers then posed for the camera in front of the dying teenager. They're saying it's a North African migrant gang. Now, we don't have Louis's last name, which makes me question this story. It's being shared everywhere, though. In a premeditated ambush in Narbonne, France. 3 days after his induced coma, he was found he passed away. Critical head injuries on a construction site. Ambush. 5 North African migrants. Attackers filmed the cowardly assault, showing just awful. 5 suspects arrested, facing charges in connection with the killing. Authorities investigating as a possible targeted ambush or act of vengeance. Oh, come on. Louis lived in a foster home where he'd been placed by child protective services. Good God. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. Why so often in these attacks is it 5-on-1, 7-on-1, 6-on-1? That's why you never leave your cave without your club, right? That's why you never leave your cave without your club, right, Ortho? Rest in peace. And these 5 invaders should, if found guilty, if it's the 5 people that filmed themselves doing this and posing in front of the camera, capital punishment, in the town square, gallows, leave them up there for a few days. Let the birds get to them. Let them rot. Show people what happens when you come into our place and abuse our people. I don't know. My vengeance meter is, it's not vengeance, it's justice. Just gross. Sorry, I even had to tell you about this story. Sorry we had to. Rob says, with evil in existence, I wouldn't put it past being man-made, the earthquakes. Man, my scroll button is not scrolling. There we go. 5th time is the charm. Being man-made somehow with HARP and NASA Bluebeam and outer black budget projects. Other black budget projects. There we go. Ugh. Rest in peace and prayers. I mean, this kid was in foster home. I'm sure that means he probably didn't have a great life growing up either. It's like that kid that the other migrants tried to saw the head off of in the street. Was that France too? No, that was England. Dude had learning disabilities and hearing issues. So they took both of his eyes and tried to saw his head off, leaving him dumb. That's not able to speak, but, developmentally disabled, hearing problems, and now he can't see. They took one eye and destroyed the other one. Yeah, it's moments like this you got to question a greater plan, and you got to look at the cosmos and go, oh, come on, man. This should not be a part of this is not okay. This is not acceptable. Oh, okay. I did say England. That was Scotland, right? It wasn't Wales. What was the city? City where guy was almost beheaded on video. Belfast, wasn't it? Ireland? Or no, Belfast was Henry Nowak. I am getting all of my white kids getting abused by black people videos confused. Now that was a Sikh. He was what? India, dot not feather. Indian, dot not feather, I think. Yeah, that was a Sikh who killed Henry Nowak, and that was in Belfast. I forget the name of the victim that they almost took his head off. I don't remember the name of the guy that did it, but I believe he was an invader too. An illegal alien invader. Belfast. All right, it was Belfast. So then, where was Henry Nowak? That was Stephen Ogilvie was the... Almost took his head off his body. Sudanese man arrested and charged with attempted murder. It sparked riots in Belfast and other parts of Northern Ireland. One of them used a hurling stick to blast the guy. Henry Nowak was in Southampton, Hampshire, England. Yeah. Yeah, no, just say the UK. What does the UK cover? Is it Spain? Is it Italy? Is it Ireland? Is it Scotland? Is it Norway? Like, how far does the UK actually cover? I hate to show you that story. Here's the moment the earthquake rocked Venezuela airport. We shared this on the program last week. Rob was over there in the evening. I mean, if this is you, what do you do?
Observen cómo quedó el aeropuerto Maiquetía estando nosotros acá adentro. Mira, miren el desastre que hay. Acabado totalmente. Observen.
I mean, all that stuff. Any one of those cinder blocks falling from the sky, hitting you on the head, could easily take your life.
Después el terremoto. Observen cómo quedó todo. Señores, grave la situación que estamos viviendo acá.
There's one report here says there's almost 12,000 still missing.
Terremoto de alta magnitud. Miren cómo quedó todo. Pueden observar, yo grabé.
So I guess it was a 7.2 foreshock, followed 40 seconds later by a larger 7.5. So if you got a big one, get to a safe spot and hang out there for a little bit in case there's a bigger one coming. I know, you're getting a geographical education. Yeah, Dina, it was a Sudanese guy riding the victim like a cowboy, holding up his knife. Just, I just, number one, pray that never happens to me or anybody that I love. Two, pray that if something does almost happen to me, that I'll be able to stop it for me. And also pray that if it's happening around me and I'm able to identify what's happening, that I'll be able to spring into action and try to help. No, succeed in helping, not try. Do or do not. There is no try. So yeah, prayers for Venezuela for sure. Hey, Al-Qaeda wins the New York primary. Projected winner, Al-Qaeda. What are you doing, New York? What are you doing, Minneapolis? What are you doing? Babylon Bee remains undefeated. Democrat primary, Al-Qaeda wins. Now, I don't know if this, let me look up this guy, Paul Poisland. Here, let me, I'm just going to copy and paste this. Dark Garbaggio account can be inflammatory, but inflammatory and accurate? I don't care if you're inflammatory. I care about what's accurate. So let's ask Grok. Hey, Jamie, type in, is this true? And then copy paste it to see if this is correct. The claim is that Zevanor Gordon sexually assaulted 6 schoolgirls and women on London transport. The core facts in this viral post are accurate. Abuses 6 girls, including a schoolgirl in uniform, on public transportation between 23 and 24. Sentenced to 16 months, a year and 4 months in prison. Oh, he's on the 10-year sexual harm prevention order and 10 years on the S offenders register. Wow. A year for brutalizing 6 ladies, torturing 6 ladies, ruining the lives of 6 ladies. Don't really come back from that. Paul Polisland, environmental lawyer, founder of the River Rotting Trust, organized volunteers to clear over 200 bags of rubbish, weeds, silt, and waste from a heavily polluted section of Alders Brook, a tributary of the River Roding in East London, over about 10 days in early 2006. The Environment Agency is investigating him for unpermitted works. He's being investigated for cleaning a river while not permitted. Well, if you were doing your job, it wouldn't be dirty. Stop investigating this guy. You kidding me? Unpermitted works and moving silt and waste, moving waste without a license and causing potential flood risk concerns. Screw you. Facing 2 years in prison, maximum for certain waste environmental offenses. Ongoing investigation with a threat of prosecution, not yet convicted. Screw you. How you could live in London, how you could deal with England at this point. They are openly hostile to good, normal people. And they are bending over backwards to let the invaders destroy that place. I don't get it. Postland had previously asked the agency for action on the polluted river before organizing the volunteer effort. Supporters note wildlife, fish, and dragonflies. They returned after the cleanup. Yeah, shockingly enough. How did this go sideways? Ortho says, all right, flee England, but do not come to Texas. Hold on. Rethink this for a second. The smart, good people get the hell out of Dodge. I am the smartest, the goodest, and a lot of people say the most humble. Someone told me my Trump impression has gotten better, and I think what I'm throwing in the excuse me's now. And I think that's what I need to do with I got to find a couple of those key phrases and keep locking into them. Playing tennis with them, the ball bounces and hits the wall, then it bounces back. And I got time to do other stuff, but the ball keeps moving and it keeps coming back. A lot of good, smart people flee shitholes like Los Angeles or New York City. And they go, I need to go be sane. Oh, that's what's happening. I'm losing my internet connection. That's why it swapped. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's a lot of good people fleeing, but the British system is broken. All right, there's another one. Dark Garbaggio had another. So often when the radical left, I've been doing because you get that like congested Trump. There's a few different versions of him. All right, well, Europe is a mess. All right, let's bounce over to our X feed here. Reminder, if you like the show, hit the thumbs up button, click the share show link, and just share it on your X account, please. Share it on Facebook, text it to a friend, share it on Locals, share it on Telegram, Signal. By the way, on Signal and Telegram, we're TNAM and TNAM Chat. We're TNAM and TNAM Chat on Telegram and Signal. Instagram, we're the New American Media. Follow us there. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast on Spotify or Apple, please just go to the Agree to Disagree show and do that. But also, subscriptions. To just sign up and say, I'm going to support this show for, as little as $5 a month on Patreon, Rumble, and YouTube. It matters. It's super helpful. Thank you to everybody who has, and thank you to the next person that signs up in advance, or people that sign up in advance. Today could be that day. You can do Rumble rant tips, Super Chat tips, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. It's all scrolling at the bottom. And it's what we do. I'm not selling you coffee or pillows at this moment, so I don't really have ad reads for you. I know I should probably do that. And it's so weird doing the show to keep glancing over to see if Nimbus is here ready to jump up. And it got where like his jumps, he was almost missing the desk. And so I'd have to reach down, scruff him, and then lift him and then set him here. To nuzzle on me and then walk around and then lay on my hand or lay on my keyboard. And then I couldn't move my hand and then I'd have to type with one hand. But I do. I kind of keep, I don't know, being here without, it's so weird. It's so empty. But I caught myself doing it. I've gotten so used to just kind of glancing over my shoulder. Like, is he there? No, he's never going to be there. Anyway. Let's keep the news going. And like I said, the Patreon link, it's pinned right here at the top of our Instagram feed, our X account. Yeah, Pastor Spell. What's his first name? Tony? Tony Spell of Life Tabernacle Church. I want to go there. Unless he's the monster, but I don't think so. All right, let's check in on the Supreme Court. Tell me if I'm missing any of these SCOTUS cases. There's a lot coming out right now. Supreme Court sides with the matter of Roundup weed killer, blocking thousands of lawsuits alleging that it failed to warn users that the product could cure cancer. This is the worst ruling of the session. I hate this so much. I hate Monsanto. I hate glyphosate so much. Very first thing when I got involved with my homeowners association with 25 buildings, I was the landscape chairman. It was called grounds committee chairman. It wasn't a thing until I created it. I became, and that's why I'm so pissed off about that guy who's cleaning the neighborhood getting in trouble. Screw you. If you would have done your job and kept it clean, I wouldn't have to do it. You don't want me doing it? How about you do it? And how about instead of threats and punishment, how about a fucking thank you? Oh, no, I got called all sorts of racist names by the non-white people in my neighborhood. That was awesome. I never called them a single racist name. Oh, I got called all sorts of things. I wasn't just a gentrifier. I wasn't just this and that. I was a lot of things. Not everybody. There were a couple. And for the couple that I was aware of, I know there were more. But regardless, all I was trying to do was make things better. But look what the left does. They're brain damaged people in many cases. Brain damaged by the lies that their teachers have told them, lies that the Democrat politicians have told them, lies that their educator indoctrinators have told them. Media, politicians, educators. Lies. So they grow up angry and full of hate over nothing. I'm so angry at Trump. I want to destroy this reflecting pool. You are so broken as a human being. I've told this story so many times. This is the ghetto, Brianna. Like, how dare you fix the broken irrigation system in my front yard? How dare you repair the missing bricks from our planter beds, repaint them, put new 50-50 mix into those planter beds, put fresh, vibrant green and multicolored flowers and bushes and shrubs there to make it a warm, awesome, inviting place. How dare you scrape the shit out of my building, rip it to shreds over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, take away every piece of flaking and peeling bubbled paint and stucco, replace all the dry rot and termite-eaten wood on the fascia board, replace the gutters, replace all the mesh screen for ventilation flow that those shitty painters just sprayed spray paint over, and it just clogged all the little pores, so there's no breathability in the rafters, which led to really hot ceilings and all sorts of problems. Yeah. You know, I didn't need a thank you, but I could have done without the fuck you. But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. At some point, I left that crazy place. Good luck to you. If I could count the hours I spent fixing that community up, cleaning it up, repairing the broken shit, the driveways, the plumbing, the roofing, the gutters, the paint, the landscaping, the laundry rooms, power washing, I left that place looking awesome. And what I get for it? This is the ghetto, Brianna. We don't want things fixed here. Excuse me, bitch? Maybe it used to be the ghetto, but it ain't the ghetto if I'm living here. We are raising our fucking standards, lady. I didn't yell at her like that. But I did actually yell at her at some point. I go, yeah, you can stop. No. I'm not going to stand here and listen to you curse at me. Goodbye. That was pretty much the extent of it. Although I had about 1,000 things I wanted to say. Do not cast your pearls before swine. Yes, that lady was a pig. She had a broken brain. No compassion. I don't care if you've been brain damaged. You don't get to take it out on other people. Just because you feel like shit, just because you look like shit doesn't mean you get to make everybody else look and feel like shit. Thank you very much. Anyway. Learned my lesson, did I? I actually did. You know what Scott Adams got canceled for? I wonder if Grok can, in a few sentences, with context, tell me why Scott Adams was canceled. You know what I did learn? I learned a lesson. Get the fuck away. The Mitch Hedberg joke. They say the number 13 is superstitious. That's why they don't have a 13th floor on the hotel. So if you get in the elevator, it says up to 11, 12, and then it goes right to 14. Yeah, but you know what? If you're staying on 14 and jump out the window, you will die faster. And if you take the letter B, a capital B, it looks like a scrunched together 13. Like you meet somebody, and hey, what's your name? My name's Bob. Get the fuck away. Please look up Mitch Hedberg. It's one of my great honors that I got to meet that comic legend before he passed. And as he would say regarding photographs, someone says, hey, take a look at this picture of me when I was younger. Every picture is a picture of you from when you were younger. Ain't it about time somebody said that? So I love intentionally saying, yeah, I got to meet Mitch before he died. The only people who met Mitch are people who met Mitch before he died. Shit. So Scott Adams was reacting. Here, let's do a simultaneous sip, shall we? Well, let me hold off until I do it. Okay. If you would like to Join me in the simultaneous sip about learning my lesson and reminding us how Scott Adams got canceled. If you want to join us in a ceremonial simultaneous sip, all you need is a cup or a mug or glass, a tank or chalice or stein, a canteen, jug or flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I like coffee. And join me now for the unparalleled pleasure, the dopamine hit of the day. The thing that makes everything better is called the simultaneous sip, and it happens now. Go! I don't think that was my fastest reading ever, but it was okay. And I enunciated about 94% of what I wanted to enunciate. By the way, Kenneth, I love that there are so many inside jokes on this show. If you're a regular watcher, although if you're a first-time watcher, you might think we're lunatics. Or maybe specifically, you might think I'm a lunatic. But I'm the bartender here. You're the regulars. You're in on the jokes. You're not the butt of the jokes. You're like in on the jokes. You know what I'm talking about. You know. And I've changed my chair, and I don't like this chair either. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I need another chair. Want a CD? Huh? Do you want a CD? Do you want a CD's nuts? It was actually want 2 CDs. Do you want 2 CDs? 2 CDs? Yeah, do you want 2 CDs? You want 2 CDs nuts? Oh, all these inside jokes from this is the ghetto Barayana with the 3 snaps. Like that was right out of a central casting, right out of a book. Please repeat that. Oh, that's interesting. Mark says, Brian, many buildings have the 13th floor as a mechanical suite. Access. Restricted. Oh, I don't know that I knew that. Kenneth, you know this one from The Simpsons? It was the 13th day. It was the 13th hour of the 13th day of the 13th month. We were there to discuss the misprinted calendars. Lousy smarch weather. It's such a good joke. It's so layered. There's like 7 layers of little joke in there. And it's silly and goofy, but it's a joke, you know? Your simultaneous sip is delayed. We'll go get more water. Dina wants me to repeat that. You know what? I'll have Scott here. Let me do this. Link Jamie, pull this up. Link me to All right, thanks, Jamie. He or she is pulling that up right now. He or she. A clip on X. Yeah, whatever. They sent me away to YouTube. I'll go there. Come on, I can't skip the ads. Come on, come on, come on. I know, I guess some of you are dealing with that, right? They're playing ads on the show. YouTube changed their algorithm, so I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, every time an ad plays, it's like a penny gets tossed in the wishing well, which is good, actually. Where did the link go? Where'd the link go? Oh, there it is. Let's check out. Oh, by the way, how many views are we at? 1.53 thousand. Check out cool story. And hopefully the real story will come out. Check out my guest hosting appearance on Strictly Speaking Unfiltered with Bob France. That was 2 days ago. That was a good show. I enjoyed it. Give him a follow over there. Anyway, let's go. They're saying this is the best simultaneous sip. Is there volume?
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh yeah, he'd always start.
Bum,
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 bum, bum,
bum,
bum.
bum, bum. Hey, everybody, come on in. It's time for the simultaneous sip. Coffee with Scott Adams. Aren't you glad you're here? I'm glad you're here. Otherwise, I'd be talking to myself, and that's crazy. If you'd like to participate in what promises to be, I think I can say this with some confidence, the best simultaneous sip ever, it's coming up really soon.
How soon?
And all you need to participate is a cup or a mug or a glass, a tankard, chalice or stein, a canteen, jug or flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I like coffee. And join me now for the unparalleled pleasure, the dopamine hit of the day. The thing that makes everything better, including the pandemic, it's called the simultaneous sip. Happens now. Go. I was right. I was right. Did you feel that? Best one ever, right? I thought so. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Ah, damn it all if I don't miss Scott Adams. It was a good show, you know? Maybe you don't know, but it was a great show. Please repeat that. Well, there, I repeated it. Special thanks to Mr. Kenneth. $10 US. Those are my favorite dollars because I can spend those. Thank you so much for a skinny sip. Now I have room for a bigger sip. I wouldn't normally intentionally burp on the show, except it was to prove a point that now I have less skinny room for a sip. Now I can take a bigger sip. But yeah, thank you very much, Kenneth. Appreciate you, as always. Instead of slip and slide. How about sip and shoot? Coffee with a bang at gun range. Okay. I wish to subscribe to your newsletter. Dina says, Jamie says that you ask too much of him. I ask too much of everybody around me. I'm a coach. I'm a general manager. I'm a director. General man. I see the playing field and I ask people to do the things that need to happen. Doesn't mean that I'm not doing a whole bunch of things. It means I can't do everything and I'm trying to delegate. You're barking at me. You're telling I don't work for you. You can't say, why are you? You're too demanding of my time. Why don't you do it? Okay. It's called delegation, people. So you tell Jamie that I do not ask too much of him or her. No, you didn't need an unsimultaneous sip. See, we did that. We did this. We actually brought Scott Adams. Scott Adams, man, Nimbus, Scott Adams, Halo and Aster. My brother, my mom. I mean, there's been a lot of significant figures who have just left my life in the past half decade. A lot. So yeah, we brought Scott in so it could be a simultaneous sip. You know what? I would have no problem being a guest host of Coast to Coast. By the way, I've gone to countless hockey games with Tommy, the producer of Coast to Coast AM, many, many, many times. I've interviewed George Norrie. I've interviewed John B. Wells. I've interviewed Jimmy Church. I've interviewed Ian Punnett. Are there more? I mean, in person and on long form shows. I've been a guest on Coast to Coast. I've been a caller on Coast to Coast. A guest host of Coast to Coast. Yeah, I would absolutely do that. It's in my resume that I can do it. Anyway, let's dig through the news. Supreme Court sides with the matter of Roundup weed killer. We told you that. Blocking thousands of lawsuits. Justin says it's not a partisan split. It's 7-2. Please tell me how voting Democrat would have saved you if a third of Supreme Court Democrats joined the Republicans on this one. No, I don't think the Democrats are only three. We have three activists. I think Amy Coney Barrett. I think Coney Island, or James Comey. How do you say your name? Comey with an M? M as in Mary? Warren says, anyone with common sense has always been able to answer the question, what is a woman? After a brief but embarrassing period where some could not answer, what is a war? Today, SCOTUS restores hope that words really have meaning, rightly deciding what is a border and what is temporary. Let's hope they can rationally answer what is a citizen. Because that one's coming soon. Peter Navarro says new classified records from ODNI Gov on X says Dr. Fauci funded the risky Wuhan research, manipulated intelligence toward a natural origin narrative, silenced dissent, and misled Congress. The media covered for him. It's time for St. Fauci to be held accountable for his sins. Amen. Indict Fauci. Do it on a state level. Do whatever needs to happen to legally hold this flippin' monster accountable. For my 39-year-old brother being 6 feet in the ground, I'm here for it. I'm more than here for it. I'm demanding it every fucking day. Peter Navarro says Fauci played God.
And the American people need to decanonize St. Fauci. What we know very clearly is that Fauci played God. He basically gave money to the Wuhan lab for the express purpose of using gain-of-function research to create a deadly virus for the purpose of then creating vaccines to kill the virus. How'd that go, Anthony? And then, when that thing leaked from the lab, he conducted a misinformation campaign using some of the most prestigious academics in the world to insist that it wasn't from the lab, it was the zoonotic theory, from nature. And the biggest lie of omission was the fact that he funded the virus to begin with. 1 million Americans died, millions worldwide. He needs to be held accountable. But you know, Maria, and this is where you're exempt from this, the media had a lot to do with canonizing Fauci because they had an agenda back at the time. They knew that if Donald Trump could be blamed for that virus rather than China, it would change the political landscape entirely. So I thank you. I thank the Washington Times for publishing the piece. I thank Tulsi Gabbard for getting out there. But Congress, get off your ass and subpoena not just him, but all the people who were involved in this, because this guy, blood on his hands. Fauci lied. Americans died. I said it back then. I'll say it right here. And this story needs to get out so that it doesn't happen again. And the American...
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, seeing down there, Bitcoin's only at 61,000. Dow's up at 52. Yeah, we need a gold and silver and crypto crush right now, I would say. Dina says, send Fauci to a level 4 with no personal protection. Fauci's animal abuse is a big red flag. Oh, yeah. I've covered that, and that is a brutal, vile, stark reality. Secretary Brooke Rollins says every year the USDA publishes the SNAP error rate. Did you know that? It's a measure of erroneous benefit overpayments and underpayments. Fiscal year 25 SNAP payment error rate 10.62%, which means 10.1 billion in benefits were paid to households in error. USDA took historic action to help states curb waste. We stand ready to continue that work. We're not backing down in the fight to make SNAP more affordable to the American taxpayer. Dadgummit, I'm Tim Burchett, and I'll leave the light on for you. My impression of Tim Burchett, it's kind of like the guy that did those commercials for Motel 6. Motel 6. We'll leave the light on for you, dadgummit. I sound more like him than I do actually sound like Tim Burchett. But
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett, going into chair.
It's not too dissimilar either. Whoa, I caught him in crazy eye moment. Let's see how close I can get this. I'm trying to match the face. I keep seeing weird images of me from angles I don't like with weird. I don't want to do that anymore. They say if the wind changes, my face will stick that way. Dadgummit, maybe my voice will stay this way too.
Doge committee this morning. SNAP will be the issue, which is food stamps and the fraud we've got. Oh, we got a full crowd in here. Looks good. Anyway, press probably won't cover it because we're going to actually get something done. And we'll see what happens. Thank y'all for sitting there.
And I'll leave the light on for you. About to start the Doge committee on SNAP fraud. Tim Burchett says we need answers from Democrat governors who are refusing to share SNAP data. Can you say money laundering and bribery for votes? Yeah, you can and you should. All right, Eric Daughtry reports leftist Biden judge Evelyn Payden blocked the Trump DOJ from challenging sanctuary policies in New Jersey that shield illegal alien criminals. She threw out the lawsuit to assist the invasion. We need to start impeaching judges and codifying border security, or else a future Democrat president will wreak even worse havoc. Yes, put it into law. Do not let it be executive order. You need to codify it into law. Is there audio? No. Okay, Greg Price. Here's another Supreme Court win, people. I know. Look, Mark, 7-3 ruling Monsanto versus Durnell. Who was the Republican or the normal person that voted with them? Can someone check? Jamie? And by Jamie, I mean you, the audience, because I'm not looking it up. Nah, I'll look it up. I don't want to delegate my work to you. But you know what I forgot? I forgot to get back to my Scott Adams story. I got so enthralled with that I didn't explain it. Because you said to me, what was it about? Yeah, learn your lesson, did you, Brian? Yes, I got the fuck out of there. On his YouTube show, Coffee with Scott Adams, he reacted to a Rasmussen Reports poll. Said 53% of Black Americans agreed that it's okay to be white. Only 53% of Black Americans polled in this Rasmussen study said it's okay to be white. What's the opposite of that? It's not okay to be white. Holy shit. What? That was the level of racist, Democrat, anti-white hatred that was coursing through the veins of society at the time. What was the date of that show? It was during the pandemic, right? 2020? 21? 19? 22? Oh shit, 23. So the 47% of Black Americans polled by Rasmussen that did not say it's okay to be white, he called that group a hate group, saying he no longer wants to help them and advised white people to get the hell away from Black people. And he said, get the hell out. Get the fuck away. I think that was get the fuck away. Let me ask, did he say... Yes, he did say, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from Black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away, because there's no fixing this, Scott Adams said about the Rasmussen poll that said 47% of Black people who were polled in this study said it's not okay to be white. That's not what they said. No. there was a question, is it okay? And 53% said yes. So yes, a very slim majority said it's okay to exist if you're a whitey. The other 47% couldn't agree with that basic statement. And amongst those, yeah. So that's what Scott Adams said. So Ortho, when you said, did I learn my lesson? No, I will say, you know, you got racial demographics and I know they exist. And I didn't have a lot of overtly racist things said to me. I got a lot of ridiculous attitude from some people. And you know what? I didn't care. I didn't care if the people on my board of directors were white or black or Hispanic or Asian, or I didn't care. Gay or straight, I didn't care. Number one, we just needed help. We needed people to assist the board of directors and whoever the people in the community were that were coming over. I didn't care what you looked like. I wanted to paint your building and fix your roof. I wanted to repair your driveway. I wanted to spay and neuter the cats that are living under your building. I wanted to termite tent your building and paint it, repair it. That's all I did. All I did was help everybody. It's like, oh, there's more whites at that building. I'm going to help them. Oh, there's more blacks over there. I'm not going to help them. That was never a thing. I never gave a shit. It was mainly more that they weren't arresting the crazy, violent people in the neighborhood. The meth heads, the junkies, the zombies, the violent people, the thieves, the trespassers, the creeps, the zombies. That's mainly why I got out of there. And one of the number one guys was a tall, skinny white guy. Turned out he was actually a light-skinned Latino. I didn't care. I was focused on getting that tall, skinny meth head junkie, that tall, skinny white boy off my fucking property. Turns out he was Latino. Who knew? I didn't know. I care zero. But when Scott Adams pointed that out on the Rasmussen reports, 47% of the people could not say it's okay to exist if you're white. You might want to get away from people that have been brainwashed to believe such things as an act of self-preservation. What do they say in Pulp Fiction? The wolf says, if self-preservation is an instinct that you possess, I suggest you do what I say when I say. If not, good luck, gentlemen. Harvey Keitel. If self-preservation is an instinct that you possess. So I left mainly because of the junkies and the crazies and the violence. But that's what that was all about. He got an unfair rap and they canceled him. And so he just started doing his own thing. Published his own cartoons, published his own books, and kept going. And it was one of the better shows. So anyway. Coffee with results. Well, you know what happens. All right, let's continue here. Great news on the Supreme Court level. Take a look at this. Larger. Larger. Can I go this way? Nope. Sorry. I'm trying to put chat up, but it won't zoom it the right way. Greg Price reporting the Supreme Court rules 6-3 that Hawaii's law that banned licensed concealed carry permit holders from carrying handguns on private property that's open to the public is unconstitutional. Check that out. You know those ones that say you can't carry a gun here? If you're open to the public, you have to allow people to carry. Fuck yeah. I can't believe we had to fight this battle, but we did. You don't get to disarm me. I don't get to be a sitting duck target. No, thank you. Oh, I guess you can take your firearm to target now, maybe. I will advise you to do excuse me. I will advise you to do no such thing. That's what I was trying to get out there. However, if you're open to the public, you get to carry your sidearm with you. Oh, I'm sorry. That's different. Private property, but that's open to the public. Hang on. There's details here. Here, let me do this. I will encourage you to check out one of these legal shows that will go in and do a deep dive for about 60 minutes on each of these, because there's going to be nuances to this. I don't want to misreport it. I can report to you the headlines, but the devil's in the details. Let me give you a little. For years, the state of Hawaii made it almost impossible. What am I reading? Who wrote this? Does it have an author? I don't see it. For years, the state of Hawaii made it almost impossible, from the Supreme Court, it says, to obtain a license to carry a firearm. Yeah. 4 years ago, the court held in New York versus Bruin, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, the Second and 14th Amendments protect the right to carry handguns outside the home for self-defense. Of course. Hawaii responded by replacing its old law to carry permits with new laws that achieved a similar result. At issue in this case is a Hawaii law prohibiting firearms on private property that's open to the public without the express and affirmative consent of the property owner. They just tried to get trickier with their restrictions. Restrictions. Hawaii's new rule imposes severe restrictions on daily activities of residents who have satisfied the state's rigorous requirements of the issuance of a carry permit. See, that's a problem. You don't need a permit. The Second Amendment is the damn permit. The more I'm reading this, the less I'm going to feel like it's a win, but it's okay. When these permit holders leave home, not only must they take care to avoid all the territory where the possession of the gun is prohibited outright, but they may also be barred from entering many places that people routinely visit in the course of their daily routines, such as gas stations, restaurants, and stores. This law flips the default rule at common law. Let me just full screen it for a second. It flips the default rule at common law under which anyone that has an implied license to enter property held open to the public unless the property owner withdraws consent. Held open, Okay. So U.S. v. Heller, court holds that the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to keep and bear arms, with the amendment's central concern being the fundamental right of self-defense. Heller instructed courts to ascertain the scope of the right by looking at our history, and now we're getting into super legalese. The restrictions imposed by Hawaii's challenge law fall within the plain text of the Second Amendment, so the law is presumptively unconstitutional. No party disputes that petitioners are among the people protected by the Second Amendment and that they seek to bear arms. Therefore, the plain text of the Second Amendment protects what petitioners want to do, carry handguns for self-defense. And it continues, but there you go. Major SCOTUS win on the Second Amendment, according to Greg Price. Thomas Massey says SCOTUS rules Monsanto can't be sued for omitting a warning even if the herbicides do cause cancer. Even if the legal reasoning of the court is sound in this case, so Thomas Massey's signaling maybe it is still a blatant travesty of justice. Congress and the president can fix this and absolutely should. The New American Media writes, we agree 100% with Representative Thomas Massey, who, by the way, follows us. It's insane that we can't hold our poisoners accountable for the torture, pain, and suffering and deaths caused by their obviously toxic product. This is easily the worst ruling of this term, and it's not even close. SCOTUS Wire says Supreme Court issues an opinion issuance day for this coming Monday, June 29. There are 8 pending cases remaining for the term, including birthright citizenship, perhaps, I think. Hopefully that goes the right way, the correct way. The court will also issue its cleanup order list and likely to decide whether to take up several major appeals. Senator Rand Paul says the whole Russia hoax was perpetrated on Trump by the intelligence agencies, and it's worse than people think. It was directly orchestrated. It was directly orchestrated by President Obama. Quote, he got his people together in January of 2016, and they said, this guy Trump is dangerous, and we're going to go after him. We're going to put evidence all throughout the intelligence agencies, and we're going to go after him and prove this Russia conspiracy thing, which was really a hoax. Adam Carolla says that sounds right. Want to hear one of the dumbest things you'll ever hear? Democrat Senator Alex Padilla. It's Padilla.
By the way, this bill does more than just speak to elections. It wants to limit
Talking about the Save America Act.
the rights of trans citizens
Wants to limit the rights of trans citizens. What the fuck are you talking about?
in the United States of America.
No, it wants to confirm that you are who you are before you get the privilege of voting. Not once have I thought, no, there's nowhere in the Save America Act. Screw this guy.
America. This Save America Act, supposed Save America Act,
Supposed.
is a hodgepodge of Trump, of vindictive vendettas.
A Trump hodgepodge of vindictive vendettas. Say that's 5 times fast.
And he's not going to get his way. We're going to keep fighting it tooth and nail. By the way, this bill.
You're going to fight voting accountability and transparency tooth and nail. That's why you never vote any Democrat anywhere. North Carolina caller calls out Democrats for not passing the Save America Act.
Yes.
Frank Pallone, maybe, is the person answering this. Representative Frank Pallone, Democrat, New Jersey.
My name, I want to talk to voter Save America. A great majority of Democrats, blacks, whites, Hispanics, all want voter ID. And it should. You got to have a voter. You got to have an ID to do about anything nowadays. But I just want to know how come, the Democrats are so against. And as the mail-in ballots, you remember, this is probably back when we used to register to vote and everything. You actually went and registered to vote. It wasn't this automatic voter registration. Then you got ballots sent to you in the mail. I remember during the China virus, we got 4 or 5 mail-in ballots, and we go vote in person. And it's just it's ridiculous. And the Democrat Party now seeing how
we're running out of time, Mike, so we'll get a response for you, okay?
Well, Mike, I think that we need to expand the opportunities to vote, and I don't want people to be limited by, and we're not going to have mail-in ballots.
Sounds like a traitor. Oh, I forgot where I was pointing. Yeah, you limit non-eligible people, you clown.
You have to bring your ID with you to the polls.
That's not an argument. Go ahead, stand up and do a filibuster on that one. Well, we don't want people to bring their IDs to the polls. Do you require that at the airports? You require that at the doors to every bar, liquor establishment that serves alcohol, you fucking asshole? We need to just look at the Democrats and call them fucking assholes. Sorry, forgive me. It's midday. You might be listening to this with the volume up, and we don't need cursing. I sort of let it rip on last night's show. Ask Rob. I got a little fired up. I normally try to keep it contained, but like double-barreled. You don't get to do anything significant, risky, or dangerous without showing an ID. Are you kidding me? Are you flipping kidding me? Ugh.
I think that those are ways of limiting people's ability to vote.
Yeah, you're limiting ineligible people's ability to vote. Oh, my God. Never leave your cave without your club, and be careful. South Carolina law enforcement releases dash cam footage of a shooting that happened April on I-85 in Anderson County. Austin Robinson, 32, fought these officers, then reaches into his vehicle and pulls out an AR-15 pistol, no brace, of course, and then shot Deputy Alex Albrecht with it. Both deputies then performed a mag dump, that's a technical term, on Mr. Robinson's torso, K-ing him and saving taxpayers millions of dollars. The deputy that was shot has now recovered. Drive accordingly. So, here we go. Let's full screen this, and just so we are aware. And you're right, Mark. SCOTUS did rule pot can't be a reason to remove our Second Amendment rights. Missouri Amendment expunged pot convictions. That guy talking about trans voting. You said, my female mechanic is on a trans mission. Yes, transmission fluid. Anyway, watch this. This is horrifying, enlightening. Just, here we go. Oh, I think you can hear the canine in here wanting to get out there and help. Oh, the canine would have helped a lot. Oh, man, you can hear the dog whimpering. The dog is not happy. Oh, man, volume up. Guy's wrestling two of them. Holding him off. Lifting up. Now getting to his car. Now he's at the car, and now he's at the door. This one officer's looking the other way. And this guy's letting him open his door. Okay, now he's pushing the door, and he's hitting his hand. Okay, what's he got? Does he have a... He has a taser, but he's not using it? Okay, you can hear it. He did deploy it at that point. This dog is pissed off that it can't be out there helping. Taser, 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 but it's not stopping him. Grabs a rifle and shoots it almost immediately. God, that was fast. People. Goodness. Yeah, that dog was like, let me get to him. Let me get to him. Let me get to him. Jeez. Things happen so fast. And the left is so quick to demonize police for trying to get rid of bad guys. Like, damn. This woman says she was kicked out of a baseball game because she wore this shirt that says, at a Tigers game. The shirt says, Jesus over pride. And the Detroit Tigers kicked her out of the game?
Okay, they're kicking me out because of my shirt.
We've received a couple complaints. And so what?
That's Paige. She was kicked out of the Detroit Tigers game on June 19th, 2026 over her shirt that said Jesus over pride.
Okay, they're kicking me out.
Wow. Detroit Tigers did that. I don't want to read this one. I will. God, I have so much show to get to. No wonder I'm doing evening shows now. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend. Rumble rant tips, super chat tips if you're that type of person, please, as I start winding this episode down, and I'll get to more of these this evening. Politics UK wants to tell us about the Henry Nowak case specifically. Police officers who handcuffed Henry Nowak took 8 minutes to realize he had been stabbed. Male police officer, I'm not sure he's breathing. Female officer, checks for pulse and neck. Male, he's not breathing. Female, right, let's get the handcuffs off. Male, let them know he's not breathing. Female officer, yeah, talks on police radio. From 4-8, we don't think he's breathing. Could we get another unit here, please? Got no pulse. Male, unlocks handcuffs, medic or anything, ARV. Female, talks on police radio, ARV towards us if we've got them with a defibrillator. Male officer removes handcuffs. Male, he's not unconscious, mate. He's not breathing. Does that mean he's not conscious? Continues chest compressions. Come on, mate. That's it. That's it. Keep breathing. Come on. Pauses briefly. No. Female, no. Keep going. Male, come on, mate. Stay with us. Female, yeah. That's it, mate. Come on. Male, that's it. Come on. Take a breath. Continues chest compression. That's it, bro. I got you. Come on. Female, talks on radio. Go ahead. Thank you. You want to swap? No, I'm all right. Sure? Come on, mate. Come on. That's it. That's it. Have you put a torch? I just want to make sure that he hasn't been stabbed. Are you all right to hold it? Thank you. Female, walks into view. Do you want me to do it? Here you are. Female. Cheers, mate. Passes torch to female police officer. right? They're going to want him down to skin level for defib. Female, I've got some. Oh, Scass is here. You guys scissors? Grab some scissors. Continues chest compressions. Come on, mate. Whispers. He's effing gone. He's got blood coming out his nose. Talks quietly. He's effing gone. Female, right. If you stretch that clothing for me, stretch it out. Perfect. Unseen gesture, cutting off clothing. There's a lot of blood. Has he been stabbed there? Says the male. Female, yes, he's got a stab. There's a mark there. Male, that makes it worse. He's got a stab. I'm pushing on a fucking stab wound. Sound of clothing being ripped. Female, that's okay. It's fine. It's not coming out. It's fine. Keep going. Keep going. It's not bleeding out. Male continues chest compression. At this point, the paramedic arrives and takes over. Transcript ends. Nowak pronounced dead at the scene. He told you I've been stabbed. He told you I can't breathe. I don't think you have, mate. That was what he told him. Ah. Nah. There was a chance he could have survived if he was treated properly. Speaking of being treated properly, President Trump called the Senate Republicans in and kind of tore into them. So much so that you had, what was it, Bill Cassidy and Rand Paul? They swapped sides, I believe. Anyway, Scott Presser says, anyone good at reading body language on John Thune here? The end of this press conference about Trump and the Save America Act. Oh, did you see it? He gives the old stink eye. I don't like Thune at all. He's like, ooh, okay then. I want him gone yesterday. Senate walks back the rebuke of President Trump one day after adopting a resolution aimed at removing U.S. military forces from the conflict with Iran. Who wrote? Washington Post wrote an indefensible headline, says Noah Rothman. Alleged mafia members get decades in prison over violent ICE protest. Yeah, that's one way to say it. Another way to say it would be that Marcellus Wallace threw him out the window. Yet another way to say it. This was not a protest that turned violent. It was a premeditated attack by a small terrorist cell. Small terrorist group that used sophisticated ambush tactics in an effort to cave federal law enforcement. They even left Marxist literature behind explaining their motives. Screw you, Washington compost.
Mother who admitted to killing her baby daughter.
And this is just what the heck story from Miami.
Tears filled the courtroom as the mother who admitted to killing her baby daughter was found not guilty by reason of insanity following a 2-day bench trial.
As to count 1, aggravated manslaughter, the defendant is not guilty by reason of insanity. As to count 2, attempted murder in the first degree, the defendant is not guilty by reason of insanity. And as to count 3, attempted murder in the first degree, the defendant is not guilty by reason of insanity.
She gets away with it.
After learning she would not be convicted, Precious Bland spoke briefly outside the courtroom.
God is good.
What God is good that would allow her daughter to be It was a baby. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. What good God is going to allow you to drown your daughter, you piece of garbage?
This doesn't bring back my daughter. I'm thankful. I love my children.
I love my children. She stabbed the other one and she stabbed her husband.
Prosecutors tried to prove that this mother of 6 killed her 15-month-old because she told investigators her husband was cheating.
The voices and the COVID psychosis is a fabrication and an embellished story.
The judge didn't buy it.
That theory, it doesn't make sense to me that she decided to do all the things that she did, going to all the neighbors, calling her family members, putting the kids in the water, all of it because she was angry due to some perceived infidelity.
Her lawyers argued Bland was overcome by the voices in her head and had a COVID-induced psychotic break.
Satan
Satan is a deceiver.
There's so much that we don't know about COVID, and this was, one of the first case in the country to go to trial on COVID being the defense to murder.
Bland spent 3.5 years behind bars before being released about a year ago. Now, after a judge cleared her of criminal responsibility in her daughter's death, she says she's focused on moving forward.
Just ready to get my life back together, my husband and my children, and just move forward.
What the actual fork is that? Oh my God. Bland accused COVID of causing her to baptize her family members, allegedly telling them that Jesus Christ is coming and COVID is going to kill us all. After drowning her 15-month-old in the bathtub, her husband tried intervening. Bland then stabbed him multiple times before stabbing their other 16-year-old daughter. Husband and 16-year-old daughter were treated at the hospital. Judge Miguel de la O, that's the name, Miguel de la O, de la, the letter O. Or is that a misprint? Ultimately ruled Bland did not understand the nature of her actions, finding her not guilty by insanity, which is insane. Oh, good God, people. Oh, my God. I don't even know what to say on this one. I'm sort of at a loss. No, I'm completely at a loss. Holy shit. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. So shit. Oh my God. I am stunned. And she walks out. Okay, I need to digest that story. I'll tell you what, I'll aim at coming back again 9 p.m. for the here. Where's the logo? I made a logo for last night. The TNAM PM show with that guy on the New American Media. I have so many more stories to get to, but I also have other things I need to get to. So I'll do an evening show. There's so much news to get to. I usually try like, all right, I'm just going to fly through these stories, but then I have opinions on them. And then I take your questions, which is great, but it leaves a lot of stories on the cutting room floor. All right. Everybody, my shift has come to an end. Here's your tab. I'm going to slide it to you here for the lunch shift. It says you owe $0 and free cents. But if you enjoyed your time, I'm just sitting out here playing the guitar in the street corner with the case open. If you like it, consider tossing something into the tip jar. Rumble rant tip, Super Chat, YouTube tip, Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. It's all scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you've never made a contribution before, maybe today's that first opportunity. Maybe today would be that day. Maybe you could sign up to be a monthly sponsor, set it and forget it. For as little as a cup of coffee a day, you can assist the new media in destroying the compost media. Brought to you by viewers like you. So, goodness, what a day. A couple of Supreme Court case wins. You know, the one I didn't even really get to is that now the Supreme Court rules that you can win fast-tracking temporary protected status of migrants, specifically from Haiti and Syria? I think it was Haiti and Syria. It's in the title of the show. I didn't even get to it. But there's that. So, some good rulings from the Supreme Court so far. We need that big one on birthright citizenship. We'll see if things come in tomorrow. Where's Trash Panda? Trash Panda was gone yesterday. Marion, check on Trash Panda, okay? All right. Until this evening, I'm going to aim at 9 p.m. I may be in a different studio. We'll see how we set it up. But until next time, signing out on behalf of everybody out there in the TNAM universe. I appreciate you. I love you. And we will talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.